public, city-county partnership in the joint office. And depending on which, if elected, I know my staff back there saying when elected, but you get assigned a bureau. And I think right now we need to figure out how to work across bureaus. The nice thing that I really love about Multnomah County, I've done different projects in every department. It wasn't just in one bureau. So I love it, and so I think we need to learn how to cross bureaus. Yes?
How about the jail space, money for that? We have guys, some of these officers are arresting the same guy 3 times in the same day.
No, let's talk about that too. I was the lone vote who wanted to keep at least one of those 2 pods open. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, we had to start letting out people from the jails on the metrics. And we had just got within like minutes of letting out this guy who was in jail for murder, who hasn't gone to trial yet. And we couldn't do anything about it, and we didn't have any responsibility level because they were on the matrix. And that was simply because we didn't have 2 of those dorms open out there at Evergreen's. And it is we have to fix the entire law enforcement ecosystem. Because if we're gonna hire more public safety officers, for sure, we gotta open up more dorms. We have to. And what happened this last weekend was unconscionable. That guy should have never died. I looked at the tape, that just blew me away. But does that say to me that we don't need additional public safety officers? No, that's not saying that to me. That's saying that we need some more training and education for our officers. We need some cultural sensitivity, mental health training, consistent training for our police officers so that they know. One thing we do know in this city of Portland, we kill black men and we kill people who have mental health challenges. That's for real. That's why we're under a DOJ order right now for that very thing. This reminds me of Aaron Campbell so much because I used to work for Senator Wyden. I urged him to send a letter to the Department of Justice asking for a review, a civil rights review of what happened with Aaron Campbell. That kid walked out of the house with his hands above his head. He was not a threat. He had a mental health breakdown. His brother died earlier in the day from a transplant, and he lost him, and he lost it. It was a long battle. People have to understand the difference between a threat, and a mental health breakdown. And that's what we need to train our officers to do.
I got a question on that. Would that mean that you would be willing to support an increase in funding for the training division? Because they do have, what is it called, guys, the mental health guys? EITs? CIT. Yeah. Because I've seen some of the training that they've gone through. And as I understand it, officers have to apply to be trained in that. And I think that it would be helpful for that training to be more widespread. However, they would need additional funding to get even more funding.
I would be willing to pay for it. We had a similar issue happen at the jails. This is all interconnected. A couple of years ago, Sheriff Staten was the sheriff of Multnomah County. A report came out. There's 5.8% African Americans in the county of Multnomah. But yet, African American men make up 22% of our jails. You do the math on it. 6 times the number of your population. So that means either they've been heavily policed, highly policed, prosecuted, and sentenced. So the report came out to show that African Americans had a 50% more chance of use of force, extreme use of force. I wrote the sheriff a letter saying, look, do we need to get some more training, education? What do I need to do to help you, to help your officers get trained? Do I need to get videos? Because when the data came out, it was shown in the jail, the places where video was had no problems. But the spaces where video wasn't, there are a lot of issues. So you can't tell me that we don't have a training and education problem. Do I think that this is widespread? just think sometimes there's just a couple bad apples, they make it worse for everybody else. I know that we need our public safety officers to help this community and help this community grow. And we need to grow them because we are a growing city. We have less police officers today than we did 15 years ago. But we have more people here. You can't expect these guys to go out there and do community policing. I'm glad to see you here today. Because I understand that every 5 minutes, you guys are on a different call. You can't keep up with the calls.
We
So-
barely made it.
Yeah.
I was dispatched to a call. From the time I cleared the call, I was just on and trying to put myself on this community meeting, and I told them that I was coming here.
I appreciate
Are
that.
you calling it your lunch break?
No,
There's food out there.
that'll be super.
But this is what I consider community policing. Because they get a chance to see you, hear you, understand what the issues are, and then they know you. If they see you on the street, if they hear about some issues or challenges that you're having, if they see you on the street, they say, oh, that's Miss Judy. No, Miss Judy she has seizures. She's not, let's help her. Then you know what her problem is.
Is that what
And
it is,
you
Jim?
only know. I'm not prophesying on you. I know my aunt would just cringe if she heard me say that. But
No, but you're 100% right.
do you see what I'm
You're
saying?
100% right.
And so in that
And
way,
they can't build those relationships if
They
they're
can't
jumping
be
from
here.
call to call.
that's right.
Yep.
That's right. I know that, yes, there does need to be police accountability. I'm not a fire thrower and just said, oh, police accountability, and we don't have to grow what we're doing, because we do. It makes no sense to be an adversarial person against our public safety folks who are protecting us. It is better to have a better hand-in-hand conversation. And when things go awry like it did this weekend, we have to have a courageous conversation and say, hey, who are your coattails? That wasn't right. What happened? He was having a breakdown. So it goes both ways. Relationships go both ways. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but all I know is I've been working as a public servant most of my adult life. I've only had 2 jobs in my life. I've been a county commissioner for the last 8 years, and since I've been out of college, I've worked for Senator White when he was a congressman and then a senator. This is all I know, is to help people. So it is an honor and a privilege for me to represent you as a county commissioner. It's been one of the greatest honors of my life, except for having my son. I have to put that caveat there, but Jordan. I have a Jordan too. So we have Jordan, so I care about this. I want all the other kids to have the same opportunity my son had. A safe place to be, a great K-12 education, which leveraged him to have an education at the University of Washington. I want all our kids to be able to do that, but right now, we're having unprecedented prosperity here. But there are a group of folks who are not benefiting from this economic boom. And I will be a voice to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to thrive in the city of Portland. I know I have to go. I see my people, they're saying, you gotta go, you gotta go. But thank you so much. Thank you for all your letters and your emails. I know Wapato is a big, big deal, but tomorrow, I'm done with Wapato. Tomorrow's a new day. We gotta start some new issues.
I just want to say one thing really quick. I think I've just met you due to the foster shelter, and the fact that you hold your own and you're not part of like the little girls club, you know? I mean, no, seriously, a lot of people love to just kind of go together. They have a hard time holding their own. And I have that ability. I'm from a dysfunctional family. I had to hold at the dinner table. And so I thank you for that. And I thank you also for even the Wapato being able to hold their own. I didn't see the footage, but I heard that you were going to vote, which didn't surprise me. So I just want to thank you for that.
I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
Quick question. If a business person has a business there in town,
Yeah, email
what's
it.
exactly is going to happen? The key is the homeless problem that's growing here. When we had buildings burned down 2 years ago, cost us $3.5 million, being homeless. We have break-ins every time people call us, and nothing's being done.
I used to say we need to open up Wapato so we can relieve some of the questions. And I'm not going to be able to say that anymore because the problem is we don't have any place to take these 1,700 people that are on the streets. That would have relieved a lot of pressure from us, that we could deal with some of the issues. But just know this, 50% of people on the streets that are homeless have mental health challenges. So we have to put some more resources into supportive services and do wraparound supports to help folks.
But they have to come up with a solution. I'm from New York City.
Yes.
I was there when Giuliani took over and
Yep.
rid of the homeless. And it worked. It does, if you're proactive, it can be done. So I need to know what's going to happen here.
But whatever they're doing in Washington County, it works because they don't have the homeless problem that we do.
They're here, they're
They're
here.
here.
We have them. They're in my backyard. They're in my cul-de-sac.
I live in the
Down the
Wilkes,
street, they chase them out. Clackamas County's doing the same thing.
I live in the Wilkes district. Me and my son own a small plex. And there were 2 homeless people in the last few weeks sleeping in our backyard. We live on a corner lot. I don't go in my backyard every day. I don't even know if I go back there every 2 weeks. But what happened was some people were coming out of the back as if they lived there. And they ran into my son and my granddaughter. And it just frightened them to death because we have a fence. So they just walked back there willy-nilly and they've been sleeping back there. And I told him, I said, listen, these folks don't have a place to go. You can't get upset about this. Just say, okay. I said, give it to me. Give it to me. I will refer them to 211 so we can give them some services. Don't get upset because they're not here to hurt you. They just want a place out of the way to lay down at night. So that's my story. It's not something that I'm hearing from all of you. I've experienced it live in Technicolor, and I know that the struggle is real for a lot of us. And I want to be here to be part of the solution, to come up with some ideas, to be able to partner with our representatives like Alyssa to figure out some other strategies that we can use to help folks. I like the bond thing that you're doing. Yes, we'll talk about that. She's going to talk about it later, but I like that. That's what we need to do. We need several strategies. So thank you for your leadership on that.
That's a perfect segue because you were saying a lot of the people on the streets have mental health issues.
Yes, they do.
And that's been true ever since the Oregon State Hospital closed. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's been a while. I understand you have to leave to keep going. Well,
All right, thank you. Bye-bye, you guys.
That's a great segue for Alyssa, who's our state representative, who might know something about what's happening on that level.
Yeah, great. Thank
I'm
you.
not the moderator, by the way. I'm just trying to-
Well, thank you, first of all.
Thank you, Judy, good job.
She volunteers for everything.
She
You
does.
guys don't know Judy, she volunteers for everything.
She does.
So, I really, thank you, David and Char, for inviting me, and thank you, everyone, for coming here and allowing me to be a part of a conversation. I know you've been having a really active conversation, and it's great when people get involved in their communities. So I was going to tell you a little bit about myself and what I do at the state level and how that's, intersects with what we're doing here, but I would really love to hear who you all are. Maybe say your name and what neighborhood. I mean, you're all Wentz, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay, so well, maybe say where you live and, either what your job is or your passion or something.
Okay, so I'm Ally, and I live in Mount Scott, Ardita, and born and raised in Portland, and I work with special ed in public education.
Great, thank you.
I'm Doug, I'm retired, live in
Thank you.
I'm Mo, and I'm retired, and I lived for 27 years with Napa Auto Parts in their warehouse in St. John's.
Okay, great. And you live in Lynn?
And I live in Lentz. I'm the other half.
Oh, okay.
Alyssa, they live in the floodplain.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
You're on Jeff Reardon's side. Jeff Reardon,
Yes,
I think, is
yes,
your state
yes,
rep.
yes.
Lentz is split into two,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
it may not be the rep for some of you. Yeah, John?
I'm John Mulvey, I live in Lawrence.
I'm Bev Herman, I live in Lentz.
Ken Herman, Lentz.
I'm Andrew, I live on the west side of it. I work here.
But do you have like southeast as your specific?
Yeah, from Colgate down to Foster.
Oh, you.
It's all in my district, yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Officer Kazari, I work Lentz.
Okay, great.
Sir Matt Pagoni, grew up in Portland, 8 in Fremont, from Madison High School, 8 years with the Bureau, I worked in the Lentz area.
Did I do a drive around with you 2 years ago?
I don't think so.
Okay. You look like the person.
I get that.
It must be the uniform.
Yeah.
I'm Betty, been in Lance 26 years, retired from hotel industry after 40 years. And yes, I'm right in the middle between Duke and Coleman, and there's just a lot of stuff going on, but thank goodness they leveled the squatter house across the street from me this week. Been waiting for 3 years for that house to come down. And it's down, and I keep seeing the bicyclists go by going, hey, where am I gonna go? So, I'm glad to see it's gone.
I'm Bob, Blue and Lens.
Yeah, you introduced yourself. Yeah, yeah.
I'm Cliff, and Mount Scott,
Julie, no, start over. Came from Lance, trying to take back my neighborhood, one block at a time.
Yes, where in Lens do you live?
The Bermuda Triangle. 96 to 100 from Foster to Glenwood, right on the spring water.